Alfred Bundy. We're taping a special edition of Meet the Leaders here at the New Jersey League of Municipality Convention, the 104th gathering of this convention. Joining me now is our special guest, Assemblywoman Britnee Timberlake. How are you doing, Britnee?
I'm doing very well, Al. Great to see you.
Now, I know you've been concerned about a lot of things. One of them is human trafficking.
Yes.
Talk to me a little bit if that's about that issue, that problem. Many people in New Jersey didn't even know there was a problem.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things that can actually fly under the radar, and it could be happening right before our eyes, and we never know it, myself included. But it's a major issue when you see a lot of missing signs all over the community, and young women in particular. It's a human rights issue. It's a global issue, and it happens right here in New Jersey. So we have some bills that are working on different protections and training different communities to just really be able to recognize it when we see it.
Also, a new task force was announced on reparation. I've been asking a lot of your other colleagues about that. You've been one of the spokespersons for this task force on reparation, which is actually a trend all over the country, dealing with reparations for African Americans. Talk to me about what this task force is about and what you plan to learn from this.
Absolutely. So the task force is actually a commission that's formed, and they are going to be in charge of studying and researching many different components of Black Americans and their experiences over the years, and then coming to a conclusion about how slavery affected and disenfranchised many communities, even to this day. We see it still going on, and then coming up with different ideas about what reparations would look like in the modern day. We obviously know 40 acres and a mule is off the table. If it were, everyone would be
actually,
quite wealthy.
Everybody would be happy to get 40 acres.
You can get 40 acres in 2019. First of all, you don't live in New Jersey.
Yeah, I understand Princeton University has actually been involved in helping set up some of this study.
Yes, that's correct. And some people that are against it, they really don't understand it. So it's not only about slavery, but it's about the perpetual racism that has existed since then. Different laws that was actually on the books to disenfranchise Black people. You think about the Jim Crow era. That wasn't too long ago.
That's wasn't too long
ago. And what that did, and schools that are separate and still unequal, and housing and redlining and all of these things. So maybe reparations in its current form, maybe what it looks like is mortgage opportunities. Maybe what it looks like is educational subsidy and opportunities for higher ed. I'm really excited to see what the commission comes up with.
Oh, fantastic. E-cigarettes, vaping, been really a concern with a lot of folks. What's New Jersey doing trying to address this problem?
Well, New Jersey is doing a lot. You've seen our governor out on the front line speaking about it, also with the Senate president as well as the Assembly Speaker Coughlin. And, we just really want people to be safe and not consume something that would really land them in the hospital. And vaping has been proven to be unsafe, and we're in particular worried about the children.
Governor's proposing through executive order to set up a state public bank. Good idea, bad idea?
I love it, and I've loved it since he campaigned on it. I think it's great because just like what I was talking about as far as reparations and redlining and things, if we have a state bank, maybe we can set it up to where discrimination won't happen in banking practices. And maybe it could be something where small businesses or minority businesses or women-owned businesses can actually go to for lines of credit and loans. That's what I would like to see the state bank be able to do, as well as to underwrite fair mortgages.
The governor has actually implemented and been funded for 1 year the Community Opportunity Scholarship Grant for community college students. Is that something you'd like to see continue next year?
Can you repeat the question?
The Community Opportunity Scholarship Grant, which provides free tuition for community college students.
I absolutely do want to see it continue, and I was an advocate for making sure that we actually increase the income requirement, because it was around
It was $45,000.
You
raised it to $65,000.
And we raised it up to $65,000 because the $45,000 a year, most people at that income are already receiving different grants from the federal government, and their school is, if you go to a county college, it's pretty much free at 45 and below. But at 65 and below, those are people that really are actually in need, where they may not be covered under a lot of those federal grants and are still in need of free college education. I believe that it behooves any nation to educate our people, and anything that we do to remove roadblocks for why people don't seek out higher education or vocational school or just some type of training, then we ought to.
My question of the day, and your last question, I've been asking everyone, what are we losing or gaining by having Donald Trump in the White House?
I think what we're losing is unity. And I think that what we are losing also is love for one another, for our brethren, for the human race, for the earthlings, right? We have to look at one another as being the same. When you cut our arm, we all bleed red. And unfortunately, what we're having in the White House is a lot of divisiveness and a lot of them people, those people, and blaming the American plight on immigrants. And it's honestly, it's a disaster. And I'm hoping in 2020 we're able to go strong and to get someone in there who is at least bare minimum, right, professional, and bring some dignity back to the White House.
With that, we're out of time. I want to thank Assemblywoman Britnee Timberlake. I'm Al Bundy for Altice USA.